We'll go ahead and open questions up for James. We'll start down here with Jordan, then go to Zach, and then Cameron.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. You all right up there? You look very...
I'm just... No, it's fine. Character's leaving, and I can use colorful language now.
How big of a weight is this off your shoulders to start the playoffs like this with all, it's the expectations that are on you guys?
Yeah. Anytime you win the first round, it's just a massive weight off your shoulders. It's just, as you've seen before, anything can happen on any given week and put you in a hole. So now going to the next two races and just not being in that situation is just incredible. But also it just allows us to focus forward to the next round as well now. So obviously still metrics and trying to get more, wins and bonus points and things like that for the next round definitely is, still what we're going to try and do. But, we can definitely look forward now.
Did it feel tonight like the 19 team of when Martin was driving and you guys were hitting full song, leading all the laps, winning stages, and just kind of running away with things in a lot of respects?
Yeah, it did. And we've done that here before and thrown away at the end of the race. I woke up this morning and sent the guys a message, and I just had this feeling. It was like, it's about time we give them a good old, and we just need to go and lay a, old school beat down to them. And that's exactly what we did tonight. Chase did a remarkable job, just lap after lap, and the pit crew were on song tonight. They did an incredible job. So, they've been getting better and better all year and have really hit their stride, the last 8 weeks or so. So, just really proud of everyone.
I don't know if I'd call you guys a dark horse because it seems like quite a few people are kind of picking you guys for the championship 4, but do you feel like this is a championship caliber team as it is right now?
Oh, 100%. So, we started... It was difficult, new situation for everybody, and we had a little bit of learning to do. Had some new people on the team as well. So just, we had some speed and just took a little bit to gel and get everybody on the same page and an understanding of what we're trying to achieve every week. So I think we're there now. And, I think a night like tonight really will give Chase confidence that, he belongs. I know... He's told me he can feel people are racing him different now and things like that. And, he's still relatively young in his career. And racing up front and competing for wins every week is not something that, he's done on a week-in, week-out basis. But, over the last 2-3 months, he's just gotten better and better and better. And, tonight really showed that.
Come over here to Zach and then to Cameron.
Zach Sterniello, NASCAR.com. James, congratulations on this. The final moments of the race going into 3 and 4. Obviously, Reddick was making a battle of it the whole last run, but he makes that lunge into turn 3. What goes through your mind?
Yeah, I was just hoping he didn't slide up and tag us. It's very hard to make a pass down there, and he hadn't been that great on the bottom. So yeah, and he obviously was a little better at the end of that run, starting in clean air there and having the longest run of the race. It was going to be difficult, just with the balance of our car to keep the tyres on it till the end of the race. We'd been swinging a little free on those yellow flag stops, and it's just such a tight balance with this car to get it operating in all the conditions you need. So it was going to be a challenge, but Chase did a great job managing.
Go to Cameron and then Pete in the back.
Cameron Richardson, NASCAR.com. James, earlier this season, you talked about, how frustrating it was to not get stage points, but you guys were still grinding out, top 10s, top 5s. At what point in the summer, or which race was it where that switch really flipped and you guys were really putting Saturdays together that led to top 5s and eventually wins on Sunday?
Yeah, I think, just within the team and within Chase himself and everything, I think it was like Kansas, final stage at Kansas. That was like the light switch. And really think when things started coming together and him really understanding it, and from that point on, there's been a few hiccups along the way, and there's been some issues on pit road along the way as well. But our qualifying speed came in really well. We've been working really hard on that, and as you said, when you're up front, you qualify up front, it sets yourself up for a really successful Sunday in terms of getting as many points as you can. And, I think you've seen it, like, not only our average finish, but our stage point accumulation in that period has, been ridiculous compared to what we had in the first, 10 races. So, tonight was a great night again, and, we just got to keep it rolling because every point's going to matter.
We'll go to Pete.
Hey, James. Pete Yakabelli, Associated Press. Did you guys have an issue with the alternator for a time, and how close was that to kind of derailing what you guys had going?
Yeah, we did. Still don't know what it was. Obviously was not charging and working properly. It was holding steady, so it must have been doing something, but we shut down everything at the time, AC off, cool shirt, he unplugged, turned it off. So, he had the man up there. He was hot. We were giving him water every stop to pour on himself, and, thankfully he listened and did some training like I asked, so it paid off. So, he was hot, bothered, and, his brain still worked well at the end there.
We'll come over here to the left to John.
John Newby, Savage Ventures. So you talked about your pit crew earlier and just the job that they did. I was curious, so many teams on pit road made mistakes tonight. So many drivers made mistakes. You guys pretty much flawless. So was that the, lack of a pep talk, as Chase called it, or how did you guys just pull that off, in a time when people just crumble under pressure?
I guess just preparation, man. Those guys work hard at the shop. They put themselves under pressure every practice. And realistically, they've been doing a very good job. They had a couple of hiccups at Richmond, and, just got a good, solid group. They're primarily veterans, a lot of them. One kind of younger guy, but, most of them have been on our team for a while now, and, been through some times when they weren't so great and had issues as well. And, those guys just never let up. And, just proud of the effort they put in every day when they come to the shop and just work really hard at it. And you can see it in all the metrics we look at all the times, and a performance like tonight. That's going to give them a lot of confidence.
We'll come down here to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. James, one of the things we often hear about the playoffs is just how big of an advantage it is to win the first race in a round, because then you can kind of not skip the next two, but kind of focus on the other two. But when you guys are in a point position in terms of playoff points, and there's going to be a reset in a couple weeks, how do you look at having won? What does this provide for you, and what are things that maybe you still can't do because of your points position?
It does allow us a little bit, we can start focusing a little bit on the next round, but I feel like to win this championship as well, you need to be all in 36 races every time. Just come trying to beat everybody down. I guess the engineers can go to sleep a little earlier this week and not have to worry as much, but, I think all the people in our team, we just want to go out and kill everybody every day. So, we're not going to change the level of effort we put in for these next two. It's just, you don't have to worry, you know what I mean? Or if there's a situation that might be opportunistic for, not scoring stage points or whatever, but it's going to set you up to win the race, you get the ability to do that. You've seen before in the playoffs, I think it was Kansas 2 last year, a lot of guys did a strategy that really wasn't what you needed to do to win the race, but they were all out there points racing each other. So, to not be in that situation, I think is a huge advantage, especially coming to Gateway and even Bristol. So, for that's going to be great, and, just like to focus a little more to the next round now.
What does this mean for you just to win a playoff race? I think it's your second career playoff victory.
Yeah, no, it's great. We've had many missed opportunities at the Southern 500. We've been close. 2020 we crashed with Chase there. 2021 we came off after the last pit stop with the lead, and we sped on pit road. So, in 2022 we were killing everybody and we flipped the belt. I think this one's well overdue. And it's just a special race. This is my favorite track. It's a lot of people's favorite tracks, but to win here and especially the Southern 500, we've won here the first race with Martin, but this one's even more special.
We'll take one more question in the back from Tim.
Tim Moore, Motorsports Today. Congrats on the win, James. When Chase came in here yesterday for his availability, he had mentioned that you guys hadn't talked about strategy, or at least your approach to the round of 16. So I just want to first off know, is that true? And if it is, does that maybe change your outlook moving forward of, you're just not going to exactly talk about what the plans are for a round going towards the round of 12?
My plan is go and win every week. So it's simple. So like I said before, go out, try and beat everybody's faces in. So, that's how we approach it. That's how everybody on the team does. So, the one thing we did speak about is, we spoke again this morning, just trying to be deliberate in your moves. Like, you don't need to be making low percentage moves, that don't have, especially in stage 1 and 2, when the points haven't been paid for them. You got to be smart about that. Because, we've had times this year, like, we're racing like we're still in his old car and he's making desperate moves. And, he's openly admitted that, and we've talked about it a lot. So, tonight he was very methodical in all the way he got through traffic, the way he raced with Denny after he kind of moved him out of the way. And, it's good to see. So, just got to do more of the same and be smart about it, and we'll be fine.